Hey guys, so this is going to be part one of my practice for Sam Rayburn. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I put out practice videos for all my tournaments, along with tournament videos, fun fishing videos, stuff like that. So leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you thought about it, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see all the rest of them. So we'll get the video started now. Thanks for watching. That's a good start, I guess. It's probably a solid 4.5, close to 5. All right, guys, this is Sam Rayburn. So starting out practice, I figured I'd make an intro since I went ahead and caught one just now. That was my first one that I caught. I actually just started fishing. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I woke up today, got out on the water, and realized that I left my map chips for Texas and Illinois. So I was scrambling around, and for those of you that fish with map chips, you know that they're pretty much just like you have to have them to fish these lakes very well. So scrambled around, and there was a local shop on the southern end that sold them, so I ran down there and actually just walked straight from the marina like a mile to the store, because my truck was like on the other side of the lake, and I'd already started trying to fish, and put my map chip in, came to this spot, and caught me a pretty good one. So hopefully this bite actually turns out to be something. I don't know if I'm gonna set the hook anymore back in here. I might have to just put a dummy bait on for a little bit or something, but keep you updated. It's day one of practice. See how it goes. Well, it ain't big, but I think it's a keeper. Skinny. All right, so after day one, as you can see, I was focusing on mostly like the back third of all the bays and stuff like that. That was where a lot of the good grass was. Late in the day, I went into a couple of the creeks and stuff like that, just checking around, seeing what I could find, you know, first day there. But I started kind of falling into the thing that I fall into a lot in some of these practices on really big lakes that I, you know, don't have any experience on. And I feel like it's something a lot of people run into is it's kind of the whole like the grass is always greener, you know, somewhere on the other side, somewhere else type of thing. You know, it's the bite's tough, it's fall, and you want to jump around too much instead of just locking down and, you know, finding a good area that has, you know, signs of a lot of quality fish in it, and just focus on that and break it down instead of running all over the lake and, you know, killing all your fishing time running from spot to spot. And so, you know, going off of that, I felt myself kind of falling into that already, you know, so I pretty much cut out the rest of the lake after day one. I looked around using, you know, my map chips, things like that, and found an area that looked good to me. You know, I could be versatile in, was big enough that I could, I guess, use a lot of it and bounce around and not have to move so much, you know. So going out on the next day, pretty much I limited myself by saying that I can't use the rest of the lake. I have to fish here and, you know, see if I can get, you know, some sign of some good fish in there and things, which it's Sam Rayburn. I mean, there's big fish everywhere. So that's what we're doing. Starting out the second day that I was there, going into this bay and just seeing if I can get comfortable there. If it looks like there's, you know, a good population of big fish that, you know, if I'm getting good bites in there, pretty much that type of thing. So start out from there, and I'll show you guys kind of how the second day went now. A few too many pads. That was my like fourth blow up right here on the frog. And all of them, I think, were about that size. That is a straight up good one. and there's a bunch in here this size. Might have found something pretty good. Never done that before. I caught a frog on a frog. Another really good one. Take that every day. All right, so that was my second day of practice. So as you can see, I'm pretty much going around and still pretty much going shallow mostly. I feel like after going around in that bay, I justified that there was definitely a lot of big fish in there. I spent a lot of time just kind of looking around, watching, aside from the fishing parts, you could see a lot of big fish blowing up shallow, which is a great sign. That means that there's a lot of big fish feeding in the area. There was also a lot of fish suspended. I saw a lot of fish just kind of schooling around, which they were keyed in on these little bitty tiny bait that you can't hardly mimic, so it made them really, really hard to catch. But I'm still focused on these shallow fishes. If there's fish up shallow feeding in that grass and in the pads and stuff, those for me are a lot easier to catch than these fish that are schooling out on these like tiny little shad that I can't hardly mimic, and the fish were so keyed in on them, it made it really, really hard to catch those. So yeah, that was what I needed to see going into the tournament for that bay to give myself some confidence. From that point on, I have myself limited to that area. So what I'm doing and what I will be doing in the next part 2 of my practice is I want to really learn that area. So just learn everything I can about it. I'm marking every brush pile I can think of, even if they're even just ones that look good. They might not necessarily have fish on them because it's a few days before the tournament, but if I think that at some point maybe I'll have to use those, I'm marking them. I just want to know this small area so well that when the tournament comes around and I get thrown a curveball, because it always happens that those fish are going to move. So you just want to learn everything you can when you're putting all your putting everything into one spot, and it's not really one spot, one area. You want to know everything about it so that it won't get spun out. You can always change up, figure out how those fish in that area are biting, because it's Sam Rayburn. There's going to be big fish in there. You just got to figure out how to catch them. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what I was pretty much locked in to do. I needed a really good finish. I've had kind of a bad season up to this point, so you know, I'm all in at this point. I got to have a really good finish to finish up my season and move up in a big way in the points, you know. So that's what I'm going for. I'm looking for an area that's got a lot of big fish and stuff in it. So anyway, what I was punching with, just a, obviously I got use the Snell, but that is just a trocar hook. This is actually an ounce. I was actually punching 1.25 ounces and 1.5 ounces most of the time in this video, but this was just one of my other ones I had rigged up, I think from the tournament, but still in the tournament I ended up punching 1.25 ounces. But yeah, I was fishing the grass with that and a 4-inch black and blue rage crawl. That was what I was using in that first part of practice, sorry. And then frog I was using just the Booyah Pad Crasher. This is like my go-to frog. I love this one. I use it a lot, and yeah, I think I actually threw a Spro popping frog some, which I use the Booyah popping frogs also. But yeah, that was what I was catching them on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe because part 2 will be coming out. Tournament video will be coming out after that, so you guys need to see it. Leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.